Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Echo of That podcast. A few and a half deep conversations about life, God, relationships, different topics, tough topics, anything come up with, but most of all, sharing honest and real conversations, dropping a few gems along the way. Right now, I am joined by my guest, Caleb. Euzebe, how are you?
Doing good, bro. How you doing?
I ain't gonna lie to you, I've never known how to say your last name.
It's Euzebe.
Euzebe, there we go. Now, on my first episode with Kyle, I said that I have some friends that I consider my best friends, brothers, sisters included, that I've not talked to in months, weeks, years, and so on and so forth. I have not really sat down and seen and talked to this man in about 5 to 6 years.
Yeah.
About 2 years before COVID.
Yeah, about 2 years before COVID. I think it was, you came to the church.
Right.
We chopped it up for a little bit.
Yep.
Then, it's because I wasn't driving the cars. People's cars said, we gotta go.
Yep.
And that was it.
Before, it's like, when people said you had to go,
So we're just talking about last time we seen each other.
Yes. When they said, hey, you don't have a car, when it's like people taking you, whoever says, hey, we gotta go, you can negotiate a little bit, but you can't do it at all.
The most you could negotiate you could get is about 2 minutes.
2 more minutes. Yeah.
And you're at that age sometimes where you're old enough for, hey, I'm leaving you, figure out a way to get home.
Well, I wouldn't do that because I still gotta come home.
I mean, this happened to me multiple times.
But being back to childhood, man, you just remember the amount of fun that we used to have. Like, we're just unfiltered, just good nature, just fun, just anything we just came up with. Yeah, it's all good. But like, you see, like, the last time you saw me, technically, I did not have this beautiful beard right now.
In progress.
And then this man's fully wolfed out.
Yeah. It shows that a lot of time passed, and then you don't even realize like how much time passed. Because the second I see you, it's just like, bro, I saw you like 2 days ago. So
yeah. The conversation just flowed like we just
Yeah.
And I said this before. I said that some people just when you get in person with them, it's like time has never passed. I haven't seen you for 5+ years.
Yeah.
And it's just this honestly one of my brothers, with my cousin blood. Honestly, we might be blood, or we just gonna have to say we blood.
Hey man, anybody ask you, I say, yeah, that's my blood cousin.
But how was life treating you though?
Bro, life, like we used to talk about it as kids, man. I always want to grow up. I want to buy my own stuff. And, time comes and then you're an adult and then, reality hits you.
It's time to press the checkout.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's a good experience for like us to grow up and understand what our parents goes through.
Mm-hmm.
And what I actually like to do is I always go back to the people that are younger than me and I like to, spread the knowledge on them.
Man.
Like, Caroline. Every time I come down, I go over to their house and I tell her anything that's been going on with me, like throughout the week, throughout the month, like if I'm investing, or what classes you should take, or don't sleep anymore because when college comes around, you're gonna be studying day and night. And thankfully, I just finished school, thinking about going back. But growing up, I'm gonna prepare my kids. That's all I gotta say.
Man, I feel like you can prepare them so much, but for me, I feel like even if people told me, I would not even. I'll be like, yeah, that was you, but I'm gonna be different. Like, I had that bit of arrogance in me, I see. Like, I would have been like, yeah, you could tell me all the advice in the world, but it'll be like, I know, in that moment, I'll know what to do. I know for sure.
Yeah, and I feel like in that sense, I wouldn't like give them all the preparations. I'll just be like, hey, when you come across this type of situation, here's what I would do. Tell me what you think you should do.
Right. When I have a conversation with my little cousin Matt, and I literally just same thing you said, just like telling him some stuff that I've learned. I was picking his brain like, yo, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? I remember we were at a funeral one time. I told him like, look around, pay attention to what's going on around you. Who's doing what? What do they do? What are their attitudes? Yeah. And that's stuff that really comes in handy.
Yeah, especially now. Like, I know this is kind of a little off topic, but like, especially like with girls, they need like if they're going out in public by themselves, they really need to have situational awareness.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I actually went out with my sister one time.
Right.
And I said, hey Ash, quick question. How many cameras are in the store? She said, what?
I thought I was crazy for just trying to recognize those.
Nah, like I really asked her. I said, how many cameras are in the store? She's like, why are you asking me this? I was like, because you need to pay attention about stuff around you.
Right.
Just in case like you're by yourself at the store, getting groceries, and someone you don't know approaches you. You want to at least be in the area of a camera so God forbid anything happens, we have some sort of surveillance on you.
Definitely something I tell like my little cousin about. It's like, even though he's a guy, it's just you got to be aware of not only what's happening to you, but other people.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what could go down or what you could actually help her.
Mm-hmm. A lot. Like, for some reason, I always happen to be at the wrong place at the right time. And me being an introvert, I hate that.
You're an introvert.
Oh, very much so.
I am an extrovert. I am a for real extrovert.
The funny thing is, I actually used to be an extrovert back in middle school, and then I don't know how. It just like once I started high school around like 11th, 12th grade, I just like, yeah, I'm gonna keep my box nice and small, like,
oh man.
Because I feel like when you're an extrovert, you kind of get in the line of drama a lot.
Funny enough, I've never been a drama, like wanted to be in drama. I wanted to know about it, but I never wanted to be in it.
If you know about it, you're in it.
No.
Yeah.
But you're saying that you're in the wrong place at the right time, but you're an introvert. We'll go back to that.
So what I mean by that is, like, I will see the situation happen.
Mm-hmm.
More introverts, what they'll do is they'll be like, oh snap, that's crazy. All right, I'm gonna go back to my business. But like sometimes you're put in that position for a reason. And sometimes, like this one time, actually it was pretty recent. I was at the store, and there was this girl I knew a few years back, and I saw her at the store. I'm not gonna be the type of person like, hey, how you doing? How's it been? So long.
That's me.
Yeah, that's you. But I saw somebody approach her, and I could see she was very uncomfortable at that point. Like, like she probably didn't know the guy, or she did. She probably rejected him or something like that. So then I could see she's trying to walk away, and he's blocking her path.
Right.
So then what I did was, I approached her, make it seem like we were, like in some type of situationship. So Buddy could get the message like, okay, I shouldn't pursue her. And then it was just like she understood what I was doing, so she kind of caught on to it real quick.
Yeah.
So, and then right after, we kind of caught up a little bit, and then she saw my stuff was, my car was full, and I had a lot of frozen stuff, so I was like, yeah, I gotta go. So it's just like, in that situation is, it's a big decision in your head. So whether or not, should I help this person? Should I not? Should I do something in this situation, or should I not? And this is right now what I'm battling with being an introvert.
I get you. I like this conversation because we already get into something. This was on the script. This was on the script. This was on the memo. But as a man, right? Do you think it is your job to protect, women, even if you're not? No. I know it's off the script, and it's sometimes right now it's a touchy subject. But just as a man, do you feel that added responsibility?
In the traditional sense, yes. But in a modern sense, what I would do is I will wait till it's time for me to protect. I'm not going to be the person that, I'm going to stand like in Secret Service for her all the time, because in a way, they're going to get annoyed. I grew up in a household with two strong, very independent women, my sister and my mom. Shout out to my sister and mom. And I've been in situations where I'm at the store with my mom. She's getting into heated arguments with another individual. That individual is a man. And I'm in the background, but I kind of have my back turned because, in the Haitian household, it's like child adult, stay out of grown folk business. And then I could hear the guy's voice being raised. And then as a traditional man, I kind of turn, get right behind her, so he knows, like, yo, if you try something, yeah.
I like it. If you naturally feel, I think we guys, when we value something, we naturally feel that protective of it. That like, yo, I need to not only protect, I want to make sure this thing is taken care of, but it's like nothing can harm it. I don't think it's, a lot of people say it's more toxic, but it's more of like an instinct, like, yo, I need to protect this because there's dangers all around. Not to say that it's weak or vulnerable, but it's the natural instinct to protect whatever we have.
And I think the misconception that most people have with that is that with the instinct, there's no restraint.
Right.
So in that sense, where the girls will say the toxic part comes in, let's say you have a girlfriend and then she has one of her guy friends and then she gives her a hug. The toxic instinct they will point out is the first thing you'll do, you'll push the guy like, hey, don't touch my girl. What they want you to do is be more like controlled and just like, okay, pay attention to what the guy does.
Right.
And I think sometimes what the girls don't realize is that we're actually doing that in the beginning. And then we notice things before they do because, they already have their guard down in the sense of, hey, he's just my friend. Where sometimes we know, like, yo, you're a guy, you're a girl, Guys have motives. Girls have motives as well, but it's not in the same wavelength.
I think it's more of a rapport thing.
Yeah.
Like, check this out, because when I worked at the gym, right, some guys, like, I'd have to be careful, like, when I first got there, be careful, because if the couple came in, right, and I greeted the girl first, and before the guy, I would notice the standoff behavior. Even if it's just like a friendly, hey, welcome to that, I'm not sure to say the name, but welcome to, welcome to the gym and stuff like that. Yeah. They instantly get defensive and stuff like that. So I noticed, like, I'm in my mind, I'm thinking, why is that standoffish needed? So I think it's because of rapport. Like, naturally, if we're guys, we know the most basic instinct or basic thing on the guy's man is, getting with the girl, no matter who they are.
Yeah.
Do you think it's our job to kind of manage that instinct?
In a way, the reason why I say we should manage that, because we also need to trust the girl enough to, like, know when the guy that she's, in a physical contact with, if she sees his motive.
Right.
Because that's the whole thing about a relationship. A relationship is based on trust and conversations.
Right.
So think about it. This guy kind of will standoffish with you. We can already assume that their trust levels is kind of a little lower than it should be.
Right.
And the communication is not there. Right. Especially, like, if you know that, you're with a girl, she's around a lot of guys because she's probably very attractive.
Right.
You should have enough, restraint and control in yourself.
And confidence.
And confidence, right. Yes. To know that, hey, at the end of the day, she's mine.
Right.
Not in a possessive type of way.
Not in the possessive, but in the, like, you have some... Not have, because that's the trigger word.
It's very, very hard.
Trigger word today, bro.
But it's more like we're in the relationship. You're not. It's more like it's the same way with girls with their guy friends. Not with their guys. With guys with the female friends. So there are some females who are insecure, and they'll see a girl hug their boyfriend. They won't say anything. But the second you get in that car,
that's true.
Hey, you gotta deal with it.
But it's like, how much of that is trust for your partner, trust and respect for your partner, and how much of that is like your own, like you said, insecurities. Like, you have to balance out your insecurities. But it's not the other person's job to, like, deal with my insecurities or be burdened to my insecurities. How do you make sure to balance those out? You should work on that before you even consider getting into a relationship. That is very true.
And funny thing, you brought it up, the gym. A lot of people go to the gym to work on their insecurities, myself included.
Same here.
When I started college, you remember how I looked before I went off to college.
I mean, he was probably me,
with a bigger gut,
I'm not gonna say all that.
Nah, I'm bigger now, so I can say it.
Yeah.
But actually, it's the funniest way of me starting my fitness journey. So I moved into my dorm. It was the summer of 2017. And everything was set up. My roommate, Vlad, shout out to Vlad.
Wait, hold up. You had another Vlad?
Yeah, another Vlad.
I am very jealous right now.
I know.
I know. Very jealous right now.
It was actually funny because I brought that up. I was like, bro, I knew this one guy. He's my cousin. His name is Vladimir, bro.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. You gonna love this story. There's one girl, like, the first girl I ever dated, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't the first Vlad.
Oh, boy.
I don't know why I felt that, but it was like...
Oh, man.
And low-key, that Vlad messed it up for me because, weird things.
Yeah.
But go ahead, you said different.
Yeah,
Vlad.
Yeah. So it was actually quite funny. So he was like, the way I started my fitness journey, he walked into because we had separate rooms. He walked into the room. He's like, "Hey, you want to go to the gym?" I said, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And that was it. The thing is, when I went to college, I didn't even think about that. I wasn't even thinking about, hey, I want to change my body, and I want to, be more fit. It was just, hey, I'm going to school, I'm going to get my degree, get out.
Yeah. And
it wasn't until I started going to the gym, I noticed that there was a separate side of who I could become. And to this day, I'm still going to the gym. And I think a lot of misconceptions that people think about the gym is that you need to, like, if you go, you need to know what you're doing. And just like how you said, I was also in that same situation. We had the benefit of being on three sides of what it means to go to the gym. We've been the first-time gym goers. We've been the people that consistently go. And we were the workers.
Right.
So we've seen every single side of that. So we see, like, as a worker, we have to answer those questions that the first time gym users asked. You know, like, what's it like going to the gym? Are there any certain workouts do you do, you know, to start off? How's the atmosphere of the gym? Mm-hmm. We have to answer those type of questions. As a first time gym goer, you're gonna be nervous because, oh no, what if someone's looking at me? What if I mess up?
Yep.
Me, as a consistent gym goer, I've messed up all the time. I've gotten a lot of injuries.
I'm still not okay with messing up at the gym. I'm like, yeah.
My thing is, everybody's thinking that. Mm-hmm. Everybody. And the funny thing is, as a worker, I will sometimes go around the gym, especially to the people I would sign up. I'll check in on them. I'm like, hey, how's it going? I know you've been here for a week. How you feeling? Where's your head at this point? And they're like, bro, I love it.
Yeah.
No one talks to me. No one looks at me. And I'm just like, yes, that's the biggest misconception about the gym.
Interesting. I've had my kind of fitness journey as well. It kind of started much earlier. Mm. So in about 8th grade, right? My coach, shout out to Coach Nunez, wherever you are. He just started training this one kid who was like skinny, right? Mm. And I was skinny too, so I just hopped in. It was just like one dumbbell just going up like this. Yeah. That started, and then I had my friend Gene in the same grade, who was pretty much your height, your build right now, but in 8th grade.
Wow.
He was one of those kids. Wow. And he's like, every short guy has like that one tall homie. Yeah. Who could beat anybody up. That was my tall homie. That was my tall homie, and I was just doing push-ups. He was doing push-ups like the crates. I'm just doing barely any push-ups. And then in high school, you know, we had PE. Yeah. And then after 9th grade, they cut, like, we don't have PE anymore. Mm. So for me, I was literally in the backyard with, like, bricks, just kind of, like, doing different stuff with it.
Old school stuff.
I was literally doing old school stuff. I started it. And then when I get to college, 12th grade, I met my friend Gage. Shout out to Gage. He need to hit me up. I need to meet with him. But, we went to high school and then we went to college together. Mm. And then he was in the gym, so every time I was going with him and I was literally his partner. And then he became my big homie. So it's like, I've always been spotting with people who were bigger than me. And it's not from an insecure place, it's like, for me, it's always been...
like a goal-setting place.
Like, this person inspires me just by being there to be, like, just go much harder.
And it's funny that you say that, because that was the same way with me. So, my buddy Vlad, shout out to Vlad, sorry. He was bigger than me. So like when I first started at the gym, mm-hmm. being as how I was strong in my group of friends, like throughout high school and then at the church. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't until I got to college I realized how weak I was. So when I first started at the gym, you know, the bench barbell. Yeah. He was at Planet Fitness, so you don't know about the real stuff. But when I had first started,
I know about it. The Olympic, not the Smith machines.
I'm not talking about the Smith machines.
I'm talking about the real bench. Where it's like do or die.
Yes.
I know about that.
Okay. So when I first started, I could barely lift the bar by itself. Mm. And just so people who don't know, the bar is only 45 pounds. So...
living experience.
Yes.
Sure. I know that for sure.
And think about it, my buddy, he put on 2 plates on each side. Yep. Started wrecking it. I was just like, okay, I got some work to do.
My friend Gage, he would do the same thing and ask me to spot him. I'm like, yo, I can't spot you.
Bro, do you know how embarrassing it is? Especially when they're like, spot, and you just stand there like, I don't know what to do, man. You just saw me like 5 minutes ago.
It's very humbling.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, a lot of people were asking me to do like, why do you go to the gym? And then there's just like, why don't you just do something else? And it's just like, it gives you something to do, it provides structure, and it provides discipline. Mm-hmm. And people actually noticed the difference in me, especially when I came back to visit from college. Mm-hmm. They noticed like a different like type of aura around me. So like, before I was very like spontaneous, very loud, very crazy at the church, and like everybody, when they see me coming, they're like, okay, it's gonna be a long day. Yeah. And then that first time I came back, nobody recognized me. It wasn't that I had a major change, like facial-wise or any features. Well, a little bit. I did gain a little bit of muscle.
Definitely.
But it wasn't like, it was just more of me just being like calm, collected, because, you know, you gotta unleash the beast when you gotta go to the gym.
It trains you to kind of understand yourself in a way that like, yo, I don't have to let this out anywhere else, or I can really control this.
Exactly.
And that's something I think as a man you learn that, you know, we can't speak for women, but as a man you learn that through physical like tasks. Like I compare the gym like working out, getting fit and all that stuff, even more to like basketball teams or football teams. Like you have something to look forward to. You had a goal that you look forward to.
Yeah.
Plus you had other people to like help you along those goals.
Yeah.
Like actually inch you forward and inspire you to be more. Even if they're like much bigger, it's like, yo, I gotta match these people who are constantly going up, so I gotta constantly go up with them.
Exactly. But there's a downside to that.
What's up?
So the way I started my fitness journey isn't, like I said before, isn't like the normal way.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it's a very dangerous way. So there's something that me and my friends say, it's called ego lifting.
Mm.
So I could do it now because I'm at that point where I'm strong enough to, you know, stay on task with them. But before, it was very dangerous because 1, we didn't have the right technique. 2, I was very much weaker. And 3, we're like college students.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're crazy.
He's definitely a different breed.
So it was like, it was very dangerous. I've gotten some injuries because of those ego lifting. Like I've almost dislocated my shoulder. I've snapped one of my knees squatting, which now I love leg days. Shout out to leg day.
I hate leg day stuff.
But it's just like at that point, I guess with the ego lifting, it's just like, you know, how they do it in sports. You know, they're trying to maximize your output, trying to bring out the best in you.
Right.
But it's not gradual. It's just shoot for the stars, land on the moon. But I didn't reach the moon. I landed back on Earth.
Yeah.
That's what resulted in my injuries.
I think that, I mean, even injuries and dealing like, yo, you know you can't push yourself too much, that translates to life a lot. Like dealing with problems and everything, like you think you can handle them, or even through ego you think you place yourself in problems, place yourself in situations, simply because you think, yeah, I can handle it, this is the next step of growing up. Or even like we said, we couldn't wait to grow up as kids. I honestly could not wait. Everybody could be telling me to slow down, but I was like, no, I can't wait to get there. It's like something you gotta get to.
Oh man.
And even with lifting weights, it's like it teaches you patience with yourself.
Yes.
When you don't have patience with yourself, I have a quote that says, when you don't respect yourself, you can't respect anybody else.
100%.
And I think failing at the gym, work, different things, it teaches you that patience.
And that's another thing that I learned at the gym, which is kind of ironic since they didn't teach you this at school. There's no such thing as failure. And let me drop some knowledge on that. When you fail, you get a second chance. And I'm talking about in life in general, and just like in any type of task you're doing. So let's talk about the gym wise. So when I first started, let's say going about 6 months in now, strong enough where I could lift 135. My next personal record was going to be 185. We was working out the day before like crazy, so I was exhausted. And, you know, they said, you know what, Caleb, just try it out. What's the worst that could happen? I looked them dead in their eyes. I said, I could die. So, like, I was just told them, like, I could die. They're like, no, we're here, we got you. So I was like, all right, cool. So let me try it. So, take it off, ready to let it go down. Let it go down. It touched my chest. Did not move. So that's my failure.
Yeah. So
what my friend decided to tell me is like, hey, how about this? We'll come back tomorrow. We'll make this a light day, and we'll try it again. I already seen it as a failure. It's like, all right, I'm never going past this anymore. I'm equipped with my life. I accept it. I've accepted my defeat. Come back the next day. I hit it for 3.
Interesting.
So it's not like once you hit that failure, you should just give up. It's more like, why did I fail? How can I improve? So that's why I don't think failure is I don't believe in failure. I just believe in opportunities.
I know for me, nowadays, that's the toughest thing I have to, like, grapple with. That's the toughest thing I ever have to address or even, like, get over. That's like, for me, okay, you failed. Why? Not just why did you fail, like, how dare you fail? Like, why didn't you succeed? How dare you not, how do I say it? Not succeed, but how did you help? Like,
how didn't you not achieve this?
Exactly.
Right.
Like, this is probably the easiest thing you could achieve. Just push it up. Just push it away up.
But actually, it gets worse when you get stronger, because the stronger you get, the bigger audience you have. So when you fail, everybody sees it.
Right. So
actually, it's funny that we're talking about this. So, no, it wasn't yesterday. It was 2 days ago. We were benching, and I'm at that point where now I could bench 315. And not me. Not yet. Not yet. So we get, mind you, my shoulder's been like killing me throughout the entire day. But the way this is saying that me and my friends have when we're working out, we say no excuses. It's not no excuses. It's just no excuses because we're too tired to enunciate the E.
Interesting.
But in that, once we say that, whatever you're complaining about goes out the door. You got to get into the zone and just go. So we put the 3 plates on, and I'm looking around the gym. Like, you kind of do that subtle look where you're in the zone, but you're still looking. I could point about 20 people just watching me.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and it was like very nerve-wracking because, think about it, I could do this, but usually I do this on my own when there's minimal people around. But we're doing that 5 o'clock in the afternoon, everybody's getting out work.
Right. And
then you got teenagers, all crazy and stuff. Trying to be like, yeah, I'm strong. And then, big boys come in. Yeah. So then I take out the weight. And then I feel it on my shoulder. As it's going down, I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. Right. And then I could just hear someone in the background. No excuses, no excuses, no excuses. Right. So I'm just pushing it. And then I'm like, And I'm stuck. And my friend's like, do you want to keep going or what? I just said, I don't know. I just drew a blank. And I think that happens to a lot of people when you're like, have an audience and it's just like, what's the next move? Because you already did one thing, what's going after? And then sometimes people will freeze and just hit that blank spot. And that happened to me. And I did the dumb thing and did 4 more.
I can feel it in my shoulder.
100%. And that's what I mean by ego lifting. So with the ego lifting, it's very dangerous. I could have did it for 1 and I already impressed half the gym. But because my buddy's up there who could also do it for 5, I'm just like, I'm not no sissy, so I gotta do it.
You gotta do it. So I get that feeling 100%. Sometimes you feel like, everybody's watching. You can't, even if it's the right thing, you can't give up now. I know that feeling exactly. I really feel that.
It's even worse with squatting, because the thing is, with squatting, if you go down and you can't get back up, you might as well stay down.
Oh, and it's gonna be loud too.
Very loud. So I actually failed on 405 last week, and it was probably the most embarrassing thing ever because my buddy had just did it for 5, and I look physically stronger than him, and that was like I think I hit my low in terms of gym wise, but then the funny thing is, a bunch of people just started coming to me like, bro, you got this, don't worry about it, you'll get it next time. And I think a lot of people, when they first time gym goers, they'll always assume that if you fail or if you don't hit what you was aiming for, you're gonna get shot down, you're gonna get chastised, you're gonna just get insulted. But working at a gym, we learned that it's actually like a massive family. We understand why you're going to the gym for. You want to better yourself, whether it's you're going through a breakup, or you're depressed, or if you just want to make a change in your life. We all understand it and we all support you. Right. So if anybody is watching this deciding to go to the gym, just go.
Get in the gym, dog. Get in the gym.
Just go.
Get in the gym. I think everything you just said about weightlifting and gym life and your journey through it, it also teaches you a lot about life. Teaches weightlifting. I mean, not just weightlifting, fitness in general. And life, just life situations just go really, really hand in hand. Yeah. But before we get into that, let's go to commercial real quick and we'll get right back to it. All right? This episode is going good so far. 5 years in the making and it's not disappointing. But I got to kick it back to you guys. So tell me, if you were in that scenario with the grocery store, what would you have done in this scenario? Do you think he handled it differently? Do you think he handled it good? Tell me, what do you think so far? Or even if you're into fitness, what has your fitness journey been like in this last years or whatsoever? If you can bench 225 on your first day in the gym, please let me know in the comments. Do not kill yourself if you can't, please. That's not going to be on me. That's going to be all on you. No ego lifting here. But let's get back to the conversation, back to the episode. Let's start with it really compares to life because weightlifting. Sometimes you have a weight that you have to get better at. Like it's not like you hop in there and then you could bench like 225. Bless you if you could just hop in the gym out of no, just like push 225.
Those are Samoans.
Yes, definitely Samoans. But like sometimes it's like you have a situation that you have to grow into handling.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them is like you're not gonna be handling that first time, third try, fifth try, whatsoever. It's something like life gotta get. You have to go through like stages of getting there.
Mm-hmm.
Or you gotta build up the weight or start with baby problems to get up to there.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I find myself a lot of times worried about, okay, how am I gonna make sure I have enough money to support 2 kids, wife, whatever, parents, grandparents, or whatsoever, car payments, whatsoever. Like this weight is not there for you yet.
Yeah.
You don't have to bench this yet. You just have to handle these weights before you build up. As you build up to them.
Exactly.
That's something like I really have to get like pounded in my head. Or even some situations is grip. Do you have the right like grip or like the right handling on the situation?
Mm.
Some things is like you gotta change up how you're viewing a situation. You gotta change up how you like. You have the sumo squats, you have the regular squats, different deadlifts, RDLs. It's like different ways of doing something
For the same results.
Exactly, and that really compares to how life goes through. As I can like keep doing it, I mean I'm not as consistent as I would like to be. Y'all gonna see the consistently come in, but as I get consistent, as I get better at handling like situation. Like you said, before you were much different at handling the situation. Now people before can't even recognize you. Mm-hmm. It's like a whole different person.
Yeah, and I'm gonna piggyback on what you're saying about the consistency because it's not a shot at you, but a lot of people, especially a lot of my friends who don't go to the gym, they'll always ask me, "What is it that makes you keep going?" Or like, why do you keep going? Mm-hmm. And I tell them, I said, why do you think people stop going to the gym? Let me ask you, why do you think people stop going to the gym?
Oh, I know for sure. People let life get in the way. It might sound heartless to say, but people myself as well, you let life get in the way. Mm. And then as you let it, you're like, dang, you psych yourself out of it saying you don't have control over it.
Right.
But like, how can I go back to the gym? I already gained all this weight. It's like you worse than what you do. It's not about like saying, dang, I've been so far gone. It's like, yo, how do I get back? Or just going back, or just starting the journey back is what matters.
Yeah. So it's exactly what you said, and for some reason, there's another side of it that I actually noticed. Mm-hmm. Because think about it. Whenever the new year starts, we get a bunch of people coming to the gym.
Fam. And you know how many people I have to sign up back to back?
Trust me, I know.
6 hours straight?
Yeah.
Y'all kill me, dog.
And one thing I've noticed is that sometimes, and I've asked some people who like will be gone for like a year and then come back. I said, what made you stop? They said it just got too painful. And I'm just like, Everybody could go to the gym for the first day. They could work crazy for that first day. Mm-hmm. It's that next day when the body catches up.
Yeah.
All that soreness. And there was this thing I saw on TikTok, and it was very like it hit me, and I actually noticed that I apply that to my everyday life. Just go one more day.
Fam, that one saying is like motivating through my everything in life right now. Just one more day. Just one more day.
Just one more day.
Dog. That's why, I don't know if it's the same at your gym, but at my gym, it was like, Mondays will be packed with people. Tuesdays, much lower, 50% lower. Wednesdays, only the regulars. Only the regulars. And nobody's coming back until New Year's, to work off the turkey from Thanksgiving. Summertime to get some pumps in to look good for the body, to look good for the beach.
Yeah, I love that life.
You know how many people I got to spend money just for the gym? I'm like, do you really want this?
Exactly.
And for me, I think it was because mine was more like normal people gym. Like more people would just want to get into it. Yeah. That's how they get you, by the way. They have a whole system. I'm not gonna say anything. But
trust me, I know the systems too.
They know what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
But with that customer, it's like the person who's gonna be in there and then just not come anymore.
My thing is like I've always tried. I like when I take them on a tour with the gym. Mm-hmm. When I used to work there, I always ask them, you want to join the gym. Do you want to stay going to the gym? Because if you want to continue to go to the gym, then this is the perfect place for you. Yeah. If you want to just do a one and done, I could give you a guest pass and then I'll never have to see you again. Yeah. I'm very transparent with them, and I think they respect that because sometimes they just want us to, just sign them up and then just never talk to them. I'm like, I don't know how it happened, but I'm very serious with the fitness thing now. Mm-hmm. So like, if I see somebody who wants to go into the gym, and I can possibly help them, I'll help them as much as I can.
Right.
And I better continue to see you go there. I don't want to hear any excuses saying, oh, I just don't want to go. Okay, but you still want to watch Netflix. You don't have to turn on Netflix. The funny thing is, you're paying a subscription for Netflix. You're also paying a subscription for the gym.
Yo, people were paying and they get mad at me because they took the money.
Hey, you're the one that signed up. Don't blame us because you decided to go.
Right, man.
And
you speaking volume. That's that accountability that you need.
And that's a major thing that also, especially like since I decided to go with my buddy, to start off, that was the first level of accountability right then and there. Because a lot of people who start going to the gym, they just don't have people going with them to provide that accountability.
Yeah.
So it's usually just them. Then they wake up, they're like, decide, I don't want to go to the gym.
That decision doesn't impact anybody else.
Exactly. And sometimes, like, this is actually very funny. So one of my friends I work out with now, we work at different times. Sometimes I'll get out late, sometimes he'll get out late. And then sometimes we're both thinking like, damn, I don't want to go to the gym. So then we text each other, yo, gym? If one of us answers, we both go. That's because that's the accountability right there. Because you can't say no, because then at the same time, you're just like, yo, you just missed an opportunity to be better. You literally have that opportunity to be 0.1% better than where you was today for tomorrow. And that consistency right then and there, think about it, it's every day, Monday through Friday, texting, yo, gym. And I feel like some people just need that one person to, just send them a quick text. Because think about it, sometimes I won't answer, sometimes he won't answer. I'm just like, I'll give it about an hour. And if I don't hear back from them, I'll just go by myself. And then, lo and behold, we both see each other there. So it's just like we get that external accountability, and then it will transition to internal accountability.
Yeah.
And I feel like usually it ranges within that first 3 months, people start going to the gym. And I always tell people, I always tell them, like, hey, if you want to do this, and you're kind of on the fence with it, just go consistently for 3 months and see how you go. I've told that to 10 people when I had started. Right now, 8 of them are still going to the gym, and that was 2 years ago.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Man, it's like we're creatures, we're people of habit. So once we start a habit,
that's it.
And even destroying the habit is hard, but establishing new habits, even people in rehab and different things, it's like you have to restart them on a whole different habit to get them to where they need to be.
Mm-hmm. And also you got to break that comfort zone. And that's what I think a lot of, I don't know if this is true or not, but I don't know if rehab facilities do that. They kind of break that comfort zone. Like, they change your routine up a little bit. And I think that's what happened to me when I started going to the gym. Like, now that I live on my own, and some days, I wake up in the morning, I say, I don't want to go to the gym. Sometimes I don't go to the gym for that day. But it's that next day that I got to make up for the day before. And sometimes I hate it. But there's no excuses.
Yeah.
And it's funny because sometimes I will wake up, just stare at the ceiling, just like, damn, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah. Sometimes it's like, yo, what can I be doing? Nothing? Okay, why not go to the gym? I can't think of a reason why not, so let's go.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, like, when you become friends with the workers at the gym, it's so much better. It's so much better because for some reason, you get another set of hype people.
I did that. I made an intentional decision when I started working at my gym to because I wasn't, so I worked in the front desk, and then, so for one position, because we were so stacked, they had, one person got to open doors for people. And literally my first week, mostly what I was doing.
Open the doors.
And I was just greeting people, good morning, how's it going, welcome to Planet, how's it going, hey, enjoy your workout, everything going on. And I could see the change in people's, like I'm not saying I did, that to them, but I could see how like they're much different in response to going to the gym. People are just happy to all right, got some fresh energy coming in, and I would see that consistency.
But then you also gotta be careful with that too, because sometimes there are people who are hyped up on pre-workout and they're already in the zone.
Thankfully, because my gym is not a heavy lifter kind of thing. It's like an everyday
gym.
It is. So I don't got to worry about that. Most I got to worry about is the dudes who are just coked up on stress and testosterone coming back from work. That's what I had to deal with. I almost fought some of the people.
Let's not talk about that. So actually, pre-workout. That's when we was talking about the insecurities and the instinct when we was talking about that beginning with the guys and his girlfriends.
Yeah.
Sometimes that will result in them having pre-workout, because when you take pre-workout, it sends your body into overdrive already. So the amount of restraint you need to have has to be top notch, and any little miss like thing,
right,
that's it. And I feel like that's what probably maximizes our efforts at the gym, but sometimes we kind of let it linger.
It lingers, and then you have withdrawal.
Sometimes the withdrawal is really bad, and I actually kind of had that.
Mm-hmm.
I used to use pre-workout all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was around like 19 to about 21-ish, pre-workout every single day. I haven't used pre-workout in about a year now.
How do you feel different?
I'm still strong. Like the thing is, like the pre-workout is trying to maintain your strength for a certain amount of time. At this point, I'm strong enough where I can do it, and I'm not gonna be happy about it tomorrow. But hey, I got it today. And I feel like pre-workout is for people who are either competing, need to get out a lot of stress in a certain amount of time, and that's what I was doing in that time span, or just they're just bored, because some of the pre-workout they taste good.
Yeah.
You've ever tried it?
No. My friend tried it. No, I am not doing pre-workout.
Okay.
Claire said, if you hear me right now, I'm not taking pre-workout ever. Dying.
So I feel like, so there are many types of pre-workouts.
I heard that. That's more. I thought it was just like one set, like you just chug it with no water. What?
You can.
What?
I've done that.
For what?
So there are the ones.
You remember the cinnamon challenge? They doing that with the pre-workout. Y'all didn't learn?
No.
Did y'all not learn?
That's dangerous. That's very dangerous. So there are the types that make your body feel like it's very tingly. Those are the stimulants. They have the ones that are just straight make you sweat like crazy.
Yeah.
That's the heats. And then there's the ones that you don't feel anything, but it actually does send your body into overdrive. It's more of an internal thing, and that's the non-stimulant ones. I still take pre-workout, but not the ones that make me look like schmeat heads.
Yeah.
It's more like controlled chaos.
Right.
Whereas nobody knows I'm on pre-workout,
except you.
but I'm working out like I'm on pre-workout.
Okay. So, and also, pre-workout is not drugs. It's not. For anybody who's watching this, it's not drugs.
I plead the fifth. But like just the fitness in general, it's changed so many people's lives, and I've seen it, and I've actually lived it. And people take notice to it, and talking into let's say in social living. Back then, around in my high school, towards the end of my high school, going on to college, I was very, very, very reclusive. I really kept to myself. I had my group of 7 friends and 2 teachers, and everybody knew that. Even on the school bus, everybody knew, don't talk to Caleb. He's not gonna talk to you next time, regardless. And that first 6 months I was away at college working out, came back. It gave you that sense of confidence, like you was talking about before, when men need to work on their insecurities.
Yeah.
That it brings out that confidence, and then a lot of people notice that. Mainly, for some reason, the girls. First,
they're definitely gonna recognize that.
Oh yeah,
that before, is always gonna be a product of you gaining more confidence, dealing with your insecurities. Guys, that will definitely happen.
Think about it. High school, nobody wanted to talk to me. I was the chubby kid who wore hoodies all the time, spaghetti arms and meatball belly. It was just like that. I come back, probably in terms of diameter, it's about 2 inches wider. everybody wants to talk to me now. They're like, oh, hey, Caleb. I was like, how do you know me? And then, like, it's actually funny because one of my teachers I've talked to this day, haven't been in high school like almost 8 years. Mm-hmm. They always assume I'm on steroids. If I've been
pre-workout is not steroids.
No. And I don't understand. I'm just like, think about it. If I was on steroids, I would be like,
you'd be way crazier.
And you already knew how I was back when we were younger. I was already crazy to begin with.
I mean, we all were crazy. We're young.
Think about it. How many times you would get in trouble at church? How many times would I get in trouble at church?
Well, that was a much different number.
Exactly. Very different.
I had restraint. No, I was sneaky. My bad.
No, I was just a louder boy. It was just like, so I kind of lost my train of thought.
No, you were saying how people recognize like you like getting bigger and then your confidence and just everybody seeing that.
So I guess what they did notice wasn't the physical standpoint. Mm-hmm. It was more of, okay.
Oh, you talk to a bull now. Talk to a bull. Like they could talk to you now.
I guess. I still don't want to talk to them, but I'm more receptive to it. So they'll be like, hi Caleb, like, hello. And that's it. Before they'll say hi Caleb, I'll just look at them and just like, all right, you're alive. And then that's it.
Interesting. I mean, I think I've been the opposite.
What do you mean?
Like, I'm not saying I was shy in high school. In high school, I did have a bit of shyness. Mm-hmm. But after high school, people said like, oh God, you're much more of an expert now. Like for some reason, I was walking with some friends. I'm just saying hi to people. Like I know this person from the old class, my other class, or this person from a club, or somebody I just met randomly. One time I just clapped up a dude I didn't even know him at all.
That happens a lot at the gym.
Yeah,
that happens a lot.
Well, no. Like in college, before gym. Like,
in college. Oh, that's
before COVID. I clapped to keep up during COVID. But yeah, I'm just for me. High school, I was more, I would say, kind of recluse. I was still talking to everybody. Like, everybody, I could go to any lunch table. I had no beef, no drama. I wasn't in drama at all. But it was more like, okay, he's over there, he's in the corner taking photos. Now in college, I'm like, okay, I know different people. I can see out of this person, I can see out of this person. I can go over here, having lunch by myself, I can do whatever.
Right.
But people notice that more than everything.
Yeah, it's true. And I think that's what, I kind of convince a lot of people to do is just like do something where you feel better about it.
Yeah.
Whether it's going to the gym, taking up a new hobby, buying a pet. That's what I did. Shout out to Ollie. Ollie, love you.
She's not gonna see this. He's not gonna see this.
Well, you never know. Might turn it on later. But I think it's funny because my mom even pointed it out too. Because before, it was just, go to my room. Like, even when I would come down and visit, just go to my room, don't see you for 6 hours, and just leave. But now it's more of, like, we'll have conversations and, like, a lot of arguments because, modern Haitians.
I mean, of course, it's not just Haitians, it's just different. It's a culture not just by blood and ethnicity, but by age. Like, literally, you and different person in different cultures.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So it's always going to be a clash. You just got to be prepared to how do you deal with it.
And I feel like that the problem is that sometimes it's always one side that's just very closed-minded.
Of course. I mean, it takes a lot to look outside. Sometimes it's us being closed-minded. Different things. But I think now that you said that you're more comfortable with or more confident in who you are, like even being recluse, but you're not afraid to respond.
Yeah.
Which makes it much easier to get your point across. In different things.
In certain situations.
For you. Yeah. I mean, compare it back then, of course.
Oh, yeah. Back then, they'll say something like, all right, cool, that's it. Now it's just, I'll ask my questions, get a better understanding, be more open-minded.
Right.
So, I guess that's one thing that the gym has done. Actually, multiple things the gym has done for me. Mm-hmm. And with COVID, like, that kind of hurt a lot because, everybody gained weight during COVID. And I gained weight during COVID. A lot of weight. Say that again. A lot of weight. So it's just kind of been a little bit more work I have to put into, like going back to the gym, even though I've been doing it for a long time. It's just that now that your body has expanded,
right?
There's different ways now that you can't do before. Mm-hmm. And I'm still learning about that. And that's something that I actually noticed when going to the gym in general. It's just that when you go, nobody knows anything, even the trainers. And then that's actually what one of my coworkers, who is a trainer, he said that He's like, if you go to the gym thinking that you know everything, you're not gonna get better. And think about it, he's been a trainer for about, I think, 10 years now, and he's always asking questions. He will ask questions to the first time gym members. He will be like, why are you stretching like that? And then they'll be like, I don't know. It's my first day. So it's just like...
That's an interesting conversation starter. Yeah. Actually, that's one of the best conversation starters.
Yeah, because a lot of people think that you need to know what you got to do at the gym, and that's it. It's more of have an idea of where you're going to do at the gym, but also be open-minded to what other people are doing as well. And that's one thing that kind of like helped me is that sometimes when I go to the gym by myself, I'll see somebody doing a certain workout, and I see that it's targeting the same thing I'm working on as well. Yeah. So I'll go up to them, making sure that they're first finished with their set, right? 2, not in the zone, and 3, you know, kind of not souped up on pre-workout. And I'll just ask them why they're doing that specific workout, what does it target, and you know, what other things are they gonna do? And the next thing you know, you have them, boom, gym buddy. And I think that's what a lot of people kind of like don't notice at the gym, because whenever they go to the gym, they open the doors, all they see is people in their own little worlds working out.
Everybody in their own corner, everybody doing their own thing.
Exactly. And I think that if more people understand that, hey, you know, you can always ask somebody, because a lot of people in the gym are actually very cool people. Like some of the best people actually go to the gyms. It's just that you gotta be careful about those certain people.
Yeah, certain people, of course. I remember when I was working there, I would always ask people about their like fitness journeys, what they're working on. I was like literally, sometimes, like a lot of times I would ask when people come up to the front, hey, what you working on today? You know, they say leg day, arms day, upper body, abs, and stuff like that. And I ask them, hey, what's your workout been like? What's your journey been like? People are happy to show it. One of the best things about one of the best ways to learn about people or get them interested in like being comfortable with you is having them share something that they're passionate about. Yeah. And I've learned that working at the gym is just having people share their journey or stuff that they're doing. Definitely. Even if they feel bad. Some people make jokes like, yeah, I haven't been in here in a year. I got to work this out in one day. Yeah. And they just be happy to just share whatever on their mind, whatever they're doing.
Yeah. And actually my favorite people that come to the gym are the old people. Yeah. It's not even the old people, like the old fragile ones. It's the old people who show the pictures of how they look. And then you just like, Jesus Christ.
People used to do that.
Oh my gosh. Like this one guy who still goes to the gym now. He's 87 years old.
I have a feeling you're going to say 80.
He's 87 years old and he could still rep 225. And I've seen his, like, he showed me a picture when he was in his, like, mid-20s. I kid you not, he looked like a Mexican version of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Really? Like, when he was in his heyday. Like, very, very huge. God. And I asked him, I said, were you on steroids? He said no. And he's been my best friend. Bro. Like, it's crazy.
When I worked there, he's still there. There was this dude, I'm not going to say his name, but he was almost the same age as my grandpa. My grandpa's 80. He's about 80-something. He's either 78 or something like that, right? Okay. This man is buff like Thanos. Like, he's Thanos, but black. That's him. And he has, like, the beards, like, the little patch of beard right here. That makes him look like Thanos. Oh, like, God. Fully bulked out like Thanos.
Did you get under the Infinity Gauntlet?
Bro, no. You should have did that. Bro. Like, I used to tell my coworkers, like, yo, he looks just like Thanos. And this dude is bulked up on crazy. Oh, and he said he used to train linebackers and different things. Like, yo, some people, like, really, really love fitness. And it's interesting to hear. He'd be giving me, kind of... what you call it?
Pointers?
Pointers and different things, even things that save me from getting, their fights or getting my butt whooped or sometimes. But it's like, you see that in people. You see their journeys and stuff like that.
And one thing I need to work on by myself is cardio. And that's one thing I do hate because I am somebody who's on the hefty muscular side. Which means that's a lot of weight that is moving very fast. And it's very tiresome. Yeah. And
it's like moving a bus in half. With 90 miles per hour. It's like, that's going to take a lot. A lot. Not calling you the bus.
Bro, call me a bus. Do what you want. I'm content with myself.
Get tech. I wanted to take it back to what you said. You said something about resting, right, before. And I think that even compares to what we were talking about with life. It's like, I remember 2019, one of my best years, photography and creative and stuff like that. there were times, whether I recognized or not, I was taking rest. Like in church and Pathfinders, like where we had different trips. Like in the beginning of the year, middle of the year, quarter of the year, and then final part of the year. It's like taking rest throughout life really helps you in a lot of ways. What do you think about that?
I think that's true. Like, wait, rest or risk?
Like rest. Like times where you like rest from like stress and stuff like that.
That is something that I started to do now, especially in gym life. Because think about it. You go to the gym, you work out like crazy,
right?
You go home, your body rests, your body now understands what it's done, and now it's sore.
Right.
I don't rest. I used to just get up the next day, work on a different body part so it doesn't hurt.
That's not good?
It's good, but then you also need to consider that sometimes your body needs time to catch up. So what I would do is I would work probably Sunday through Friday, and that Saturday will be my rest day. I would literally not move. Because like I will do leg day, chest day, back day, leg day, chest day, back day.
That was about to be my like workout routine for the rest of the year. Thank you for kind of taking me away from that.
I mean, like, it's a great workout. The thing is, the way me and my friends would work out, it's like literally do your workout like it's the last workout you're ever gonna do.
That's crazy.
And the bad thing about it is it feels like it, especially that next day. Because that next day you wake up, you're just like, oh, I'm never going back to the gym.
Oh,
and then you get that text message, you going to the gym, like, yeah. So now I really take pride into those rest days because now I've noticed I have a lot less injuries, especially in my legs. And in my job, it involves me moving a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Think about it. You do 400 pounds squatting, and then you have to work the next day, and then you're walking like you're in the scene of Thriller. Very, very, very zombie-like walk. It's very bad. So I took pride in resting because, sometimes, your body needs to understand, like, relax.
Yeah, definitely. There was one time, because I worked at the gym, I had to take back all the weights. And doing that after like a full week of working out. And you're sore. Like one time I literally almost threw up. I'm picking up the weight, I was like, when I felt it come, I was like, if you go for this weight, it's coming out. It's coming out.
I've had those times.
And it's like, and even working at the gym, you work out, and then last thing you want to do when you work out is just have to lift more weights. Now you have no choice.
Yeah.
Man, dark days at my job.
Oh man, who you telling? There was one bright side I used to love about working out at a gym is when you would close. Yes, you have to clean up the gym and everything, but it's the perfect time to work out.
Perfect, definitely.
Because think about it, you could turn on the music, you could connect your phone to the speakers because every gym has loud speakers.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about anybody, looking at you, focusing on what you're doing. That's that time where, you could just be in your own space and just like, hey, I'm not going to go crazy, but I'm going to do my best for the time being. Because if you go crazy, there's no one out to help you, and you're just going to be stuck there.
True.
I learned that the hard way. So, actually, if we got time, I could tell that quick story.
I mean, I think empty gyms are the best. I like to go, I only like morning workouts. I only like, when I get up early, I'm barely awake, but just driving there and barely anybody's there, my best time to go to the gym. Mm-hmm. Me personally. But tell that story about how you almost died at the gym. We almost didn't have this episode because he wanted to work out by himself.
So it was probably on a Thursday. I'll say I think it was right before COVID had hit, so around probably January 2020. Closed the gym, cleaned out the gym. I was like, it's Thursday, second chest day. So mind you, my chest is already sore. Plus my back because my back day is on Tuesday and then I also did legs on that Wednesday. Jesus. So basically my entire body is sore.
Jesus.
And I decided to do chest when no one's there. So it was 2020, so it wasn't that strong yet. So I'll say about 275.
Really?
So doing it, so I never start at it, but I build up, 135, 185, 225, then 275. Mind you, I'm already exhausted because I worked, it was 7 hours, and I had to spot a bunch of people, and then I decided to work out. So I said, let me try 2. So I did the 1. The 1 was smooth. I should have stopped right there. I should have stopped right there.
There's always that little click. It's like, should I stop? Nah, I got it.
Ego lift right then and there. So I was like, all right, and then it started going down. I was like, hey, wait, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? And then it just fell on my chest.
Oh my gosh.
And I was just there. And I already knew no one else is there. I'm by myself. It's already after midnight. I'm just like, well, I guess they're going to find me in the morning. So I'm sitting there for about 5 minutes just thinking about my life.
Just like with the day?
Just like that.
Is it on the chest or you still lifting?
No, it's on my chest. At that point, it's there. So I decided, I'm going to try something very dumb. So I started to roll it down. Roll it down. That was the smartest thing I've ever done, actually. Because as soon as I roll it to about my little below my torso, on my hips, I was able to sit up. And I just pushed the little monster off my body.
Oh my god.
And then after that, I just realized, like, yo, I'm not doing this
ever again
unless there's someone with me. Because think about it. If you always say you're never going to do something again, you literally just put a block on what's behind that door.
Sure. You don't know.
Huh?
You don't even know what's behind it.
Exactly. So I was just like, yeah, I'm just going to have someone with me next time. So decided to end that workout there. Mind you, I still had about an hour left of working out. And I just had that near-death experience. So I was just like, you know what?
It humbles you. It's like, yeah, I could go home.
Yeah, I could go home. My dog's home, probably sleeping. Let me just go check on him instead. I used that as an excuse. I was just like, yeah, my dog's probably worried about me.
Man.
But, you know, that's piggybacks right back to ego lifting. You got to be careful with that. If you want to ego lift with your buddies, that's all cool because you always got someone there to, you know, help you if you decide to, you know, die. But if you're by yourself, be very careful.
And I think what you just said kind of compares with life a lot. That's why you need more brothers, partners, whatsoever. Because you might be in situations where it's been full-on ego. But somebody could at least help, like, tell you not to do it and you respect them. Or it's just like somebody help you catch the downfall of it.
Yeah.
Or catch you when you fall in.
And that's actually funny because I like to say I have my council of homies.
Right?
And I actually have...
Get your council of homies, guys.
Council of homies.
Yeah.
So,
at least 5.
Yeah, no, mine is like 12.
They're like 12? Oh.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
So with that, that was around like the end of 2019, the beginning of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
I've wanted a dog for so long, very long, and my mom's and my dad were just like, no dogs in the house. I was like, okay, cool. When I get my own place, I'll get a dog. funny, sure enough, I get my own apartment. Well, not my own, but I got roommates.
Mm-hmm.
My roommate has a dog. I was just like, that's a nice dog. He's like, you should get a dog too. I said, you know what? I should get a dog.
Wow.
So for about a month and some change, I'm looking up dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing an impulse. But then I also, you know, calling all my peoples in the council of homies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yo, I'm thinking about getting a dog. What do you think I should do? Because they're the homies. They're going to gas me up. They're like, yo, bro, just get a dog.
Homies was like, you thought your homies was going to support you.
I thought my homies would be more of asking me pros and cons. Like, all right, what's the pros of getting a dog? What's the cons of getting a dog?
Right.
Are you financially ready for a dog? Are you emotionally ready for a dog?
Right.
They're all just like, yo, get the dog. And the one person who was part of the council of homies kind of gave me that reality check, and it was my sister. She asked me all these questions, and I was just like, maybe I should wait on it. And I did for about 3 more days. And I went on Craigslist, and it was just like a very long shot because I know Craigslist is a very risky website.
Very.
And I just messaged somebody who wanted a pit bull just give out the pit bull. If you know they said if you're a good person, you can have the dog for free. I just messaged them like, hey, you know, want a dog? You don't want the dog? Can I get the dog?
Pretty binary, pretty black and white.
Very black and white. I was very transparent. That you don't want the dog. I want a dog. Can I have the dog? She's like, I will consider it, but I need to meet you first. So I decided to go over there, meet them, had somebody with me just in case. I'm not trying to get snatched out here. Mm-hmm. And I met the dog. Loved the dog. Gorgeous red-nosed pit bull. She said, you are a cool person. Can you come back tomorrow and pick him up? I was just like, say less. Mm-hmm. That was almost 4 years ago. And I still have my dog to this day.
Wow.
And the funny thing is, my sister who was asking all those questions, I wasn't ready. Financially, emotionally. Sometimes, like, life just presents you with a problem. You got to go through it. You just got to deal with it.
Yo, that is true.
Yeah.
That is true. It's like like the weight.
Yes.
The way that you feel. It's like
I just had to do it.
You gotta hold it for a little bit of a while. Sometimes you just gotta do it.
And then you got to figure out a way around it. And now, I'm actually the counsel for my family who all wants to get a dog. My sister had just recently gotten a dog a few months ago, and she was asking me all these questions because, I'm the veteran now with the dog. Like, my dog, he is to the point where he is this close to being fully trained.
This close to being fully trained.
When I say that is, like, I don't have to worry about any accidents in the house. I can leave the house door open. He won't run outside. It's just when we have someone over it. It's all bets are off. So, like, she's asking me all these questions, like, hey, what do you do for this situation with your dog? How do you teach him how not to bark? How do you, go with him on walks off leash? I'm just like, you just got to figure it out. I mean, sometimes I did go with him off leash, and he would just go. Wow. I won't see him for, like, 5 minutes. So, like, it's just, like, sometimes, like, with every dog, it's different, just like how every situation is different. And you just need to be prepared for whatever happens.
So it's not so much you can prepare for the moment, it's just kind of in those, like, prepare for whatever comes with it, the outcome.
Exactly.
Whatever the recoil is.
Always have a contingency plan.
Yeah. That is, I think that's something I'm learning much more these days. It's like, have a contingency plan. If this doesn't work out, where's your escape plan? Where can you go? Where can other people go? Can you be trusted to have an escape plan? Or come up with something on the fly?
And that's one thing, like, we're going to edit this out, but, like,
we'll see.
Bank robbing. Like, my thing is, like, I've watched a lot of heist movies.
We're not going to rob a bank.
No. But I'm always thinking, like...
Don't say but after we say we don't.
Whatever, man. I'm always thinking, is it possible? Especially with the technology we have now, on that side.
Oh, definitely possible.
It's possible?
Definitely not possible.
Are you sure?
I think so.
Okay. Because think about it. I was actually talking to my sister about this, and I said, I want you to just open mind. Think about it. Every bank is about 1.5 miles away from a police station. So, whenever they will call the police, there's always a response time of 90 seconds. 90 seconds of the response time for them to go out. 3 minutes to get from point A to point B.
I gonna let you? You gotta stop.
You see, I'm paying attention.
You're a little too specific right
now.
I know. Too specific.
I know. It's think about it. It's every single bank. I want, like, next time, don't even worry about it. Just look. Just pay attention. Situational awareness. Look at a bank, and then certain directions you're going, just point out whether or not you see a police station.
Police station?
Or somewhere where a bunch of police cars are just parked out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
get you, but you gotta make your point soon.
No, it's just that in that situation you're always prepared for whatever's happening.
Right.
And just like a lot of heist members, they always prepare for everything. Especially when the plan doesn't go right.
Right.
They always have a contingency plan.
Murphy's Law. Murphy's
Law, yes. And just like Shorty and Goose Cat, you never know what's going to happen until the cat's out the bag.
Right.
So that actually what happened with my dog. I went into the idea of having a dog. He's going to be like Air Bud. Like, just going to love him all the time. That little demon doesn't do anything. He just sits there and sleeps. And then my sister is asking me, how do you get your dog to stop doing, stop bugging you? I'm just like, you just got a different dog, okay? So
sometimes every situation is different.
Exactly.
You'll never know it until you're in that situation.
Well said.
Man, that is crazy.
You should get a dog.
I've lost 2.
You need to put trackers on the dog.
It's not lost. My bad. Lost in life. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. But I mean, I definitely do look forward to getting a dog in the future.
And I mean, like,
it's a responsibility.
Yes, and the funny thing is, I always told my mom, like, listen, I'm not having kids. That's your kid right there.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, like, I've kind of grown out of that. Now I'm more open to that situation where if it does happen, it happens. Yeah. I'm going to treat that little person like
a little demon.
I wouldn't. No, actually, it might be a little demon. Cause I was a little demon myself.
That's why I'm trying to redo my behavior now, so I get some good graces back then.
You're not.
Oh, man.
No, you're not. I think like this. Let's talk about family real quick.
Definitely, let's talk about family.
So, when we were growing up, I was a crazy child. You were my wingman at that point. I will be the one to get in trouble. You'll just disappear.
Yes.
It's like that all the time.
If something's going down, I am gone.
Because you were small enough to get gone. I was too fat. So,
I was gone.
And then I always noticed that I will always be the bad kid. And then it actually, for some reason, 9 years old, I'm thinking, if I'm my parents' child, were they bad at one point? Lo and behold, we go to Haiti real quick for about 2 weeks during the summer. And then my grandma tells me the stories about my dad. I was like, that makes sense. My dad was a gangster. He was a gangster. So I was like, yo, man, my dad was a gangster. And I knew I had more of my dad's side. And then my mom, they just said she was a fireball. So I was like, oh, okay, so she's scrappy. So I was like, kiss, I got, had the best of both worlds.
It's like you mix a Rottweiler, a pit bull.
Yep, got that. So, just like how you were saying, doesn't matter if we change in the long run. We get the initial.
So let's move on to this, right? Habits that you pick up, like you get your values mainly from family. Do you think people can change your values? I brought this up with like an uncle, other people's like, but I get different answers each time. But do you think people would change their values as we go through it?
I think it all depends on the situation that's presented to them. So what I mean by that is, let's say someone values family a lot.
Right.
What happens if somebody in that family betrays your trust to the point where you can never forgive them? That changes your values on family now. That changes your values in general, because family is the first line of defense on how you perceive the world. So if that line is like done, your trust in the world is done with it. Right. So in that sense, you can change your values, but it's also based on the situation that affects that change.
Right.
So like, actually, it's funny that you mentioned that, because I really didn't value money growing up. Like, whenever I see something on TV, I always beg my Mom, I want that, I want that, I want that. She didn't get it for me. Quick 10-minute temper tantrum. And it wasn't until I turned about 14 I started to notice, like, yo, it's kind of expensive. I don't know if I want this today. Yeah. So then I actually started easing back on asking for things. I will ask for one thing, but it's expensive like crazy, but I won't ask for anything for like 6 months. So I was like, yo, you got 6 months. Okay? So then it's out, and then my mom started to notice that too when I turned about 17. I just stopped asking for things in general. So I just stopped asking for things in general, and she's just like, why don't you ask for things anymore? I'm just like, because I know how much it costs. I don't have a job, but that doesn't mean I want you to continue to work for it. Right. So then now it's just like the values change because of the situation not presented.
And what you've learned over time.
Exactly. Knowledge over time as well.
That's definitely key. I mean, for me, I always grew up valuing family, even more than I even thought. Like, before, my first thought is family, family, family. It's not that that's changed over time, but I've always thought about, like, okay, like, I'll say this, my parents, they've always told me every time, you represent 3 people. You represent God, your family, and you. And that's something that I've always carried throughout my life. And that's one value, I mean, I can see it in myself that other people don't have. Like, some people's like, no matter what they do, they, like, it's not going to come back on their names, not going to come back to their family. Like, if we got in trouble at church, our parents will hear about it. It's like, so-and-so's kid was doing this, that. Like, we knew, although we were kids, we knew a limit. We weren't going to do something like burn the whole place down.
Yeah. Oh, man, like...
That always brings up the question, like, for some people, can they change their values over time? And does it have to be something, like, drastic? like you said, with some family betraying? Or is it over time where they learn, where it's like, okay, you learn the difficulties of things, which changes how you perceive it?
Yeah, I think it's possible, especially like just like how you said as well. Like with the family, sometimes it stays with you, but then you also learn certain things around it. So like it kind of grows. So like perfect example, family tree.
Right.
Everything has the roots, but then each branch is different. So your roots are family, and then with the branches, you learn different things about the importance of family.
Yeah.
So everybody can change their values, and family again. Let's say it's just you and your wife. Boom, you have a kid. That's a different value.
That's a different value.
Because before it was just I want to protect my wife, provide for her, make sure that she never has to worry about anything. Then that next little person, that's number two. I want to make sure they're both understanding what it means to be in a family. Let's say you have a daughter, I want her to understand what a true male should treat her like.
Right.
Or if you have a son, this is how you're going to treat your wife, because he's going to see how you treat his mother.
Exactly.
So it all depends on what the situation is presented to you.
I think it goes back to what we were talking about before with being a man. Like protecting, and not just protecting, but how you treat the things that you value. We're naturally protective. We're like, yo, I want to see 10 spaces down. If we're going on a trip, I want to make sure, hey, we plan these stops ahead so they don't got to worry about it.
Exactly.
I think, and do you think some people have to learn to value that? Or even some men as well, as we are, you have to learn to value that?
100%. And I feel like in those situations is because they didn't have that figure.
Yeah.
Like in our culture, not Haitian culture, but like black culture.
Communities in general. In our community.
Yeah, there's a lot of single parent households, whether it's mom or dad. Sometimes they don't have that other side of what it means to be a full person.
Right.
So that's why that's why a lot of females tend to point out if they have a single mom, the guys will be more feminine, which I don't think. They just treat a girl better.
That's the.
But if they have we'll talk about that.
Very different conversation. We'll come back off of that one.
Yeah,
but definitely.
If they have from a single father household, the daughters will be more masculine because you say take no crap from anybody. So and then they don't have that other side from the mom's standpoint of certain situations you can ease back. You can reel in the reins. You don't have to always be on go at all times.
Different people, like you said, like you were on go sometime before, and then you got to learn to get out of it.
Yeah,
man, it's all a part of growing up.
Oh yeah,
which I low key hate. Like I hate growing up.
Bro, there are bills in my name now. I hate growing up.
Bro, for what? They didn't tell us this. They didn't tell us this before. They didn't. No, none of y'all people. Y'all did not tell me y'all had to pay this much for stuff. Y'all didn't tell me it was this much. You gotta pay taxes. You gotta put 30%. What?
Yeah. Think about it. You gotta pay to stay alive.
For what? I didn't ask.
I did not ask.
Yo.
I did not ask.
Y'all didn't say, hey, do you want to land here? Do you want to land here? Do you want to land here? Which one you want to do? I ain't get none of that.
None of it.
None of that.
And it's funny they're bringing about this now in pro-choice. They're just like, the baby got a choice now. If it was up to me, nah, I'm gone, man. I don't gotta worry about none of this.
Hey, man, I was taking a nap. I was taking a good nap.
And then some doctor with gloves just grabs it, just goes in there and grabs you, bro.
What you doing, bro?
That's why the baby's crying, bro. They were chilling.
They're trying to say, give me 5 more minutes. Yeah, that's all they're trying to say.
Oh, man.
But Caleb, this has been a conversation 5+ years in the making.
Yeah.
I'm glad I had it, dog.
Appreciate it.
For real, man. I'm bringing you back.
I was hoping you would say that.
Definitely, man, because this is like, I haven't talked to you in a minute, and I do not regret it. Like, I really came back, and this is like we never left. This is my cousin, this is my brother right here.
Family, bro. Family.
Hey, man, it's glad to have you here.
Yeah, bro.
But definitely thank you guys for watching this podcast episode. Not only are you invited to this discussion, but I want you to be a part of the discussion. So drop your thoughts and comments and everything you think about below. And definitely anything you want to say in closing.
Yo, guys, man. Stay safe. Stay true to yourself.
Get in the gym.
Get in the gym. Unleash that beast.
What's your Instagram?
King underscore Euzebe.
Got you. I'll link it down below. And definitely, I wish you all the best. And with the rest, God bless. Thank you for watching this episode. This has been one conversation that's been brewing for a while. 5+ years in making, but it's not disappointing. But I gotta kick it to you guys for the final one. Tell me, how do you think sports, fitness, or in general blends into everyday life? What lessons can you take out of it? Tell me, do you have a council of homies? As a matter of fact, send this podcast, send any of the clips to the council of homies, of your council of homies, and tell me what you think, tell me what they think. But as with everything, thank you for watching this episode, and I wish you all the best, and with the rest, God bless.